Good gentleman.
Hi, my name is Jean Johnson.
And I'm Tyler Distad.
I'm here representing the Brain Injury Association. I brought a few pictures just to help me remember, because I do suffer from a disability of brain injury. Also a few other things. I don't know if you can see, but just a little bit of brief about me. Prior to my accident, I worked at St. Cloud State. I worked there about 10 years. I was in an accident that was by a distracted driver. She was distracted with her children in the back seat. We were T-boned at 60 miles an hour, and I don't know if you guys can see that or want to see that or whatever, but anyways, that was the vehicle that hit us, and my friend who was the driver took the hit of the car. He was killed, and I was the passenger. I was then airlifted to HCMC and ended up with a tear in my aorta, and also suffered from brain injury and some whiplash and a lot of other things. So my main topic is about distracted driving and the importance of that as today, and the teenagers and the brain injuries because of that, and everything along with that. And sorry, I'm very passionate about this because every time you pick up the newspaper, every time you look at the TV, someone is getting killed, somebody is dying or suffering from a brain injury or in a coma or is losing a significant other for a senseless reason. In fact, there was just something on the news, I think it was last week, these two construction workers that were killed. One was from Ramsey and one was from St. Joseph. And I can't help but believe, they say ruled out alcohol and speeding or something, and I'm like, okay, what was it then? Distraction, cell phone, something. So working at the college, being a single mom, I'm so used to working with students and being active with students. It was very passionate of me working with students, so I started a website and trying to speak with students and driver's ed, and telling them and talking to them about the importance of distracted driving and cell phones and anything that has to do with distractions in the phones. And I'm just very passionate about the distractions and cell phones and everything, and I know that there are some certain states that do not have, do not allow cell phones. I know. Tyler was also in a car accident, was affected by a cell phone use too. So this is just something I'm very passionate about, and I'm working towards hoping that I get some sort of support with that in some way, because I know there are a lot of people that are being affected by that, and I would hope that I could get some sort of support with that somehow in the future. And I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'll kind of go on to my own little thing here. I'm Tyler Distad. I'm a student at St. Cloud State University. Ground zero happened on July 11, 2010. I was on the interstate, stopped due to traffic and construction. I got rear-ended at 75 miles an hour. There's no way I should be sitting in here where I'm at, back in school, speaking to you on behalf of a brain injury association, because I have had a traumatic brain injury. Mine was caused by cell phones and driving. They ruled out alcohol, they ruled out everything else. But I'm going to stick to cell phones, because cell phones, to my generation, which is a lot of the kids, has become that extra appendage. It's an addiction. It's like heroin. It's like meth. It's like everything else. That's our lifeline. We have to know what's going on all the time. You know, and I stumbled across a couple of quotes here. You know, my rock bottom was July 11th, 2010, but the rock bottom becomes a solid foundation on which you can rebuild a life. J.K. Rowling. So it's one of those things where it's like you have to find the positive spin on everything. You have to find the good in every situation. I've learned a lot of lessons. I can say I feel like I'm 85 years old, but in reality I'm 21. You know, I had my brain injury at 20 years old. You would never know if looking at me. You would probably never know if you spoke to me. I had a brain injury. I was knocked out for 4 days. I was airlifted from Owatonna, from my accident scene, to Mayo Clinic, St. Mary's Mayo Clinic in Rochester. And I had speech therapy and occupational therapy, recreational therapy, physical therapy, all that stuff. I had to learn how to walk, learn how to talk, learn how to eat, learn how to do all the basic functions in 3 weeks. Then after 3 weeks, we had to drive over, me and my mom, or me and my dad, drove over from Albert Lee to Rochester to get 6 months of speech therapy because I wasn't able to go back to school. I wasn't able to have that spontaneous conversation. I wasn't able to have that change in topic, which I still struggle with to this day. But I wasn't able to have that stuff. I lost, that was my ground zero. I lost everything. I had to relearn. It was a rebirth of Tyler, you know, because that's what I've turned it into at least. And, you know, the famous words of General George Patton here, you shouldn't measure a man of success on how high he climbs, but how far he bounces when he hits the bottom. Because my ground zero, again, was July 11th. And I think the cell phone and driving thing is something that can be prevented. I mean, I know with all the you know, laws and all that stuff, it's gone through and been talked about, and you know, but if you take away the texting and driving, the cell phones and driving, that's a distraction that we can control. You can't control kids. I mean, as crazy as they are, you can't control that distraction. But being a survivor of a TBI and survivor of a car accident, the intensity that I was, there shouldn't be. Yeah, there shouldn't be. There should be something along the lines where it's at a DWI checkpoint, and you have see if anybody's texting while they're waiting in DWI line to be the next one up, or whatever it happens to be. I don't know how the DWI checkpoint is. Never been in one. Hopefully, I never will be, but I've never had an issue with it. So it's one of those things where I don't know what the laws are. I don't know any new systems in figuring it out, but just to have an idea is better than not having one at all. So I appreciate your guys' time, and I appreciate you listening and understanding what little you can in the 3 minutes we talked.
Yeah, and I always tell the kids when I'm doing my speech, I tell them their phone or their car is not their phone booth. So you know, leave it shut off and in your glove box is what I'm trying to teach them when I'm going to the driver's ed classes, and you know, it's like it's so important. So thank you.